This is from Who Dies? An Investigation of Conscious Living and Conscious Dying. There is a story of a fellow who dies, and leaving his body, finds himself in a shimmering realm. He thinks to himself, I guess I was better than I thought I was. He is approached by a glistening being who ushers him through an archway into a regal banquet hall in which an immense table is laid out with unimaginable delicacies. He is seated at the banquet table with many others, and a choice selection of food is served to him. As he picks up his fork, someone approaches him from behind and straps a thin board to the back of his arms so he cannot move his elbows. Trying to pick up the food, he sees that he can't get it to his mouth because he cannot maneuver his stiff arms to feed himself. Looking about, he notices that all the other people around them have their arms bound straight so they cannot bend them. All are grunting and groaning as they attempt to stuff the food into their mouths, but cannot reach, and there is a great wailing and moaning at the predicament. Going to the being who had shown him this place, he says, "This must be hell. But then what is heaven?" And the glistening being shows him through an archway across the hall into another huge banquet hall, in which there sits a great table, filled with the same array of foods. Ah, this is more like it, he thinks, and sitting down at the dinner table, he is about to dig in when someone comes and ties a board to the back of his arms, so once again he cannot bend his elbows to feed himself. Lamenting that this is the same unworkable situation as hell, he looks about in dismay to notice that, at this table, there is something different occurring. Instead of people trying to force the food into their mouths, straining against the rigidity of their arms, each being is holding his arms straight to feed the person on either side of him. Each person is feeding the person next to him. The conditions are the same, but the response is totally different.